Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of Bowler and Binnie Auction House, based in the UK, in Scotland to be precise, and they have this big auction coming up over 2 days, the 23rd and 24th of June, and there's a selection of musical instruments in this auction, about 68 to be precise, and these are all ending on the 23rd of June, so it's the 22nd today, so by the time this video is uploaded and goes out, it's probably about 12 hours until the 23rd, so not that long left to go, but I only found this auction the other day, so the link will be in the description. So this is a UK based auction house, so if you're looking to bid and you're in Europe or elsewhere in the world, bear in mind import, export fees, shipping, CITES regulations, all of that kind of fun stuff. Looks like the buyer's premium is 24%. You can also bid on the sale room where the premium is a bit higher. I tried to record the video on the sale room, but the pictures were just so heavy. I'm not sure why, it was just really wasn't working. So I've gone onto the official website of the auction house here, which is probably better anyway. So yeah, we're just going to go through and see what we've got. I think it's a fairly interesting auction, to be fair. So just to say, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing, like or comment, because it really does help. So yeah, let's go through and see what we've got. So got a selection of harmonicas and some other bits and pieces here, 20 to 30 on that, a few pictures. It's a lot quicker on here. Some miniature instruments here, 20 to 30. We can have a quick look, but don't think we need to go into it too deep. Some violin or viola, cello, classical guitar, like a kind of lute or a mandor or something that could be, and a dulcimer, so quite interesting, and a random horn. Got a vintage Regal melodeon organ there, 20 to 30. Let's have a look actually. Have a look at the pictures. Pretty good. Actually quite like this website. It's quite nice. Two vintage Hohner accordions here. Let's have a quick look. And yeah. And then we've got a case set of wooden carved flutes there, 10 to 20. Not a lot of information on this website, but interesting enough. Got a Remo banjo with case, 30 to 40. All really fair estimates. Got a sitar by Sing Musical Instrument kind of company, and an antique zither type instrument, so that's curious. Got a sarangi, a bowed Indian instrument there, 20 to 30 on that. Quite a few pictures as well, so that's always nice, and they're quite clear pictures, so they probably used a fairly decent phone or something. Got 3 miniature wooden harps, or maybe Irish lap harps. They don't look that small really, but interesting. A Hohner double ray accordion, interesting. 20 to 30 on that. A box slide guitar in a cigar box by BBG, 10 to 20. Okay. Bouzouki here, 20 to 30. Nothing too crazy there. John Gray and Sons of London, a banjo, 30 to 40 there. Selection of instruments here. We've got an Epinette de Vosges type thing there, like a, looks like a banjo mandolin, and one of these kind of African harps, so that's quite cool. Got a dulcimer here with its little case, 20 to 30 on that. All the really kind of good estimates. Selection of instruments, kind of banjo type things, some more kind of African or Asian instruments there. 3-string seagull guitar there, 10 to 20. Another kind of small, kind of long necked lute instrument. I do forget a lot of the names, they look very familiar, but can't quite remember. Same with this one, so if anyone remembers, please do let me know, because my memory is failing a bit. A Meteor accordion there, another one of these German zither type things here. Remo Lorenzo model banjo there, 20 to 30. Court banjo here, 20 to 30. All very reasonable estimates, which I think is a lot better. Really have sensible estimates, and the people want it, they'll pay a good price for it. So here's a zither here, Malaysian zither from the 19th century, 20 to 30 on that. We've got one of these German guitars and a lute body. Not my most favourite of instruments, as you probably heard me say before. I'm not a massive fan of these. Stag bongo drum with another drum there. 2 old xylophones with accessories. Okay, 20 to 30. Quite nice items there. Saying a 3-stringed instrument. Body looks very cittern like, but the tuners and things are a little bit different. Once again, I'm sure this is something to someone, but I'm struggling a bit with my memory. Countryman Remo banjo with case there. Miguel Angel 6-string guitar, 10 to 20. Got a Honecker Parrot model accordion. Another 3-stringed instrument, lots of stuff going on there, 20 to 30. Another 3-stringed instrument. Looks a curious one. Got a mixture of kind of European and maybe kind of Asian instruments, like long-necked lute type instruments. So I forget all the names really, but someone's definitely got an interesting collection. Some more here as well. Eastern 3-string banjo. Another kind of extended dulcimer type instrument. Once again, looks very familiar, and I'm sure that there's a specific name for this, but my brain is really not working today. But interesting collection of instruments. Once again, same here. I'm pretty sure that all these instruments do have a specific name. Some bowrons here. Some Irish drums. Other kind of curious instruments, kind of lutey harp type things of some various ilk. A chair, I don't think that's quite a musical instrument. Artist 401 acoustic guitar. Okay, here is a kind of early medieval kind of fiddle rebec, and another one of these zithers here. So that's kind of interesting to see. I remember some names. It's another kind of one of these African harps. They've got different names depending on which kind of country it is. I used to have one actually, they're quite interesting. 5-string dulcimer here in a fitted case. Quite a nice one, 20 to 30. A large Eastern instrument, they're saying here. It does look like it's potentially of that kind of sitar, vina kind of type family. Once again, I'm sure there's someone out there who knows exactly what it is. Another interesting instruments here. This, I once again forget the name, but like an early hurdy-gurdy type instrument, and some other kind of xylophone type things. So some interesting stuff actually going on here. Another 3-string kind of cittern looking instrument here of some kind, almost like, I think it's a dulcimer with like a kind of cittern body really, so another type of dulcimer. It seems that this is probably one person's collection and they like that kind of stuff. Harley Benton electric bass guitar here with an amp. Some smaller instruments here, more kind of curious things. A bowron in there as well. Neapolitan mandolin, all very kind of standard fare here, 40 to 60, going up a bit there. Another Neapolitan mandolin there. Large antique Indian Tana Sringa war horn made from brass. Okay, interesting, 40 to 60. Tibetan kind of trumpets and horns there, so they're quite curious. Some Mexican Aztec flute instruments. These are quite nice. Really interesting auction this. Large copper and brass hunting horn, 40 to 60 there. A decorative badlama. Okay, interesting. So they know some of the instruments. and some of them are a bit more vague, so not a bad job. John Gray banjo here, 40 to 60. Gold tone banjo. Got a record player that's a bit away from it. Vintage Carmelo Catania acoustic guitar. I think we saw a different one by this maker recently in one of our auctions. So it's got a few pictures on this one. Let's see what else we got. One of these auto harp type things. Oh, a collection of jaw harps. Interesting. 60 to 100. It's quite curious. Two antique vintage Indian sarangi instruments, 50 to 100. Some really nice carving on this one actually. Be interesting to know if anyone who's knowledgeable about these instruments could tell kind of how old they are from this picture, but that's definitely quite a nice one. Quite nice decorations on that. Here is a box containing a whole load of jaw harps, which I think is really interesting. Really nice kind of presentation box. I don't think I've ever seen a collection like this before. I think that's a really nice item. That really interesting. Here's another kind of mandolin. Another mandolin here, 40 to 60, and another mandolin. So yeah, I think that is the end of the musical instruments in this auction. Actually quite an interesting auction, a few kind of curious like novelty things, some interesting auctions which would be nice for a collection, definitely worth checking out. Put a link in the description, have a look at yourself. Nice website, pictures are decent enough, estimates are decent. I'm actually quite impressed by this auction house, so all in all pretty good. So check out the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.